Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to another session. Today I'm going to speak about specific to writing skills. So far we finished the oral communication aspect. We finished quite a lot. I will begin my session with my usual slide on placements. Then I will switch over to the quick recap. And from today we are going to do two things a little differently. What are these two things? First and foremost, we are going to have an interactive session. Yes, you heard it right. We're going to have an interactive session. What do I mean by interactive session? Interaction basically means a two-way communication, where right now it's not really interactive because I'm the only person speaking and you are listening to me. So I have no idea if you have any questions, if you understood, if you have any doubts. So it becomes difficult for me to gauge if you are learning, if the training is effective or not. So to avoid these kind of problems or issues, what is necessary is an interactive session. What we did last year was we did trainings in the classroom and we also did online training through GoToMeeting. But the problem with GoToMeeting was there were only set number of colleges which were visible to me, which is only 5, and one included me because the student want to see me on the screen. Apart from that, if there are 25 or 50 participants for the entire meeting, the problem is not everybody can ask question at the same time. When they ask, it takes too much of time. So I was finding it little difficult to complete the portion. That is problem number one. Problem number two is those colleges which do not have a webcam, colleges which do not have a dedicated microphone, they were finding it difficult to tune in. So that's why A.P.S.S.D.C this year they started training live through YouTube, which means wherever you are, if you have an internet connection, if you have a cable connection, you can watch the program live every day. So this is the new platform. We will also have classroom sessions. These will be planned much later, but the point I'm trying to make is please take the best use, the best advantage of the training that we are providing through AP State Skill Development Corporation. Now the intention, the aim, the mission, the goal of these trainings are one and only: to get our educated youth, the freshers, closer to the job, closer to the doorstep of corporates. I had been speaking about the importance of these trainings and I'll be speaking in length about the placements. I have spoken about this on everyday basis. Some of you may feel that why is he talking about this every day? The reason, the biggest reason why I'm doing this every day is if some students are missing out on some sessions, they should be on the same page. Secondly, irrespective, regardless of your stream, if you are from BCom or BA or BSc, it doesn't really matter because these trainings are going to help you irrespective which stream you belong to, and these trainings will help you gain the right knowledge, gain the right skill in order to get a job. Alright, so let's begin. Let's switch over to the presentation for you. The first one, here I'm talking specifically on what exactly these trainings are all about. Alright, so these are the companies. By now you definitely know what these companies are: Capgemini, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, A.P.S.S.D.C and A.P.S.S.D.C. I had a meeting with A.P.S.S.D.C team today. They are awaiting the dates for Infosys and A.P.S.S.D.C, but pretty much what the update says, post the Shera holidays, probably the mid of October, all the companies will start hiring. They will probably come to your college, they will come to your town, to your city, and they will get started with the drive. So these are the dates for these companies. So Infosys, A.P.S.S.D.C, you can consider that mid October onwards it's going to start. And these companies also, Virtusa, IBM, NTT Data, Computer Associates or CA, and CSC, these companies will also pretty much start in the month of October and November. The generic selection criteria is pretty much straightforward. Now this selection criteria is applicable to everyone regardless which stream you are from. However, these 10 companies that I have shown on the previous slide is specific to BSc right now. So the question is, what will happen to the BCom students who will come for the BCom and the BA students? Don't worry about it. I had been repeating this every day. You will also have companies coming in. There are companies like Capgemini which also hires people from finance and accounts. There are companies like Cognizant, there are companies like Genpact, there are companies like Accenture which hires people from directly from colleges. Now these are some multinational companies. Apart from that, there are some very big Indian companies as well. The example could be plenty. The point that I am trying to make is BCom students will also have companies coming for recruitment. BA students also will have some companies coming for recruitment. I don't have a complete picture for BA though. So BCom, you need to focus more and more on your domain. For BSc, obviously they are focusing on the domain which is technology, networking, hardware, software. For BCom, you will be focusing on finance and accounts. You will focus a lot on accounts payable. I hope those from BCom, they do understand what is accounts payable. So you have a company which needs a lot of products, lot of goods and services. They buy it from vendors. Accounts payable's role is to ensure, number one, it comes from the right vendor. Number two, it comes with the best value. Best value means the best quality at the lowest cost. And number three, these vendors are paid on time. And they also need to ensure the vendors are the right vendors. They're not into any kind of illegal business. So accounts payable itself is like an ocean. There are so many things in accounts payable itself. For example, there are companies where they have a dedicated team for travel and expenses, which is called T&E. There are companies which has a dedicated team for vendor master, where they create vendors in the master database. There are companies which is into procurement, where they look for the right vendor who can supply the required goods and services. So accounts payable is this particular aspect where they look for the right vendor and they ensure that they are paid. Then you have accounts receivable, which is like a B2B collections. B2B basically means business to business. Business to business collections means what? In accounts payable, what was I doing? I was looking for vendor, I was taking goods and services, and I am supposed to pay. Now the vendor who is providing the service and goods, they have to ensure that the payment is coming on time. So there will be a team, there will be a person who will be calling this company that I have provided 5 desktop. You said the payment will be done on 24th October. Today is the due date. Are you issuing the check? That is accounts receivable. Now that the money has come, you need to apply that revenue into the right cost center, which is cash application. So procurement, supply chain, accounts payable, accounts receivable, making the right entries to the books, reconciling the records, intercompany transactions. What do we mean by intercompany transaction? Say for example, we are shooting in the studio right now. This is a Mana TV studio, right? So they have a studio room like this. In the morning session, the background would have been little different because that's another studio room. So this building has like 3-4 studios. Now there are lights all over here. There are tables, there are desktops, there are cameras, there are LED screens. Now this LED screen or these cameras or these lights are dedicated for this particular room, right? Plus, that is in terms of your assets. In terms of people, they are the most important asset of a company. The camera person is dedicated for this particular room. If this camera person has to go to studio number 2, if the light has to move to studio number 2, there has to be an entry in the books. Otherwise, how will you know where is it going? So within this building, there are goods and assets and personnel which is moving from one center to another. That means somebody has to make a note who is working where, and obviously this person has to come back, that light has to come back. Now translate this entire room and this one studio to a company like Google. Google has offices in say probably 80 countries. Within India, they have 3 offices. They have office in Bangalore, they have office in Hyderabad, they have office in Gurgaon. Now, Gurgaon has excessive number of projectors. Hyderabad has shortage of projectors. So one way is Hyderabad buys new projectors. For that they have to spend a lot of money. One person comes and says, why do you want to waste that money? In Gurgaon we have 1500 projectors, out of which only 1200 are used. Why can't we bring those 300 from Gurgaon to Hyderabad? Imagine if you bring that asset from Gurgaon to Hyderabad, but you do not make any entry. That means those assets of 300 projectors will be shown as missing in the records, which means on the books, on the entry, the asset is there, but the physical asset is not there. That is problem number 1. Problem number 2, when you do an audit in Hyderabad office, you will find out that instead of 700 projectors, suddenly we have 1000 projectors. Physical audit shows 1000 projectors, but the amount that we paid is only for 700 projectors. Where did these 300 projectors come from? So this is an example of an intercompany transaction, where I am not only exchanging a particular asset, a particular goods, I could be exchanging services, I could be transferring services from one cost center or one center to another center, and it could be also in terms of money. How does it apply in terms of money? Say for example, we have a person who is dedicated for this particular studio. His speciality is beaming this particular program with a teleprompter, and he is an expert in this. Now suddenly he is supposed to work in another studio which is say 50 kilometers away from here. Within the boundaries of Hyderabad, this person is supposed to go there. That means the company is incurring cost of travel. The company is also incurring the cost of facilities for him. You need to provide cab, you need to provide food. Now whose expense is it? Whoever needs the service, that particular unit's expense. So what do they do, and who is providing the service? This particular unit. That means unit 2 will issue an invoice to unit 1. The money is not moving physically, but within the system they need to show that I have used this person from studio 1 to studio 2, and this particular studio is 50 kilometers away. Everything has to be properly documented in terms of records, in terms of entries. Why is it necessary? It's necessary because after you reach certain stage as an organization, to get the right recognition, to get the right standard, the statutory law, the law of the land, the law of India, like Companies Act, it says that you need to follow certain procedures. If you don't follow, you cannot avail certain facilities. For example, if you want to take an education loan today, you need Aadhaar card. To get Aadhaar card, you need to have certain proofs. Likewise, as a company, if I want to take a loan of 2 crores, I need to prove what kind of business I am doing, how long I had been doing, who are my customers, do I have any debts, do I have any illegal trade. I need to show all that. I cannot do that overnight, which means whatever money transaction I am doing, I need to record it. Now recording is one part, but who will know if the records are accurate or not? It's like you go to a clinic and you got a little cut on your finger. The doctor will not put the stitch, the compounder or the nurse will put the stitch, right? After the stitch is done, you go back to the doctor and ask, sir, is it fine? Will it get cured in 5 days? And the doctor says yes. That means you need a qualified person to look at it and say yes, everything is fine. The government will not listen to you. The government will listen to a person who is qualified to diagnose and find if everything is accurate or not, and that person or that agency is Chartered Accountant Institute of India, right? So Chartered accountants are meant to do that. Likewise, you have company secretaries. So these are positions created who are supposed to certify certain things. Likewise, even in software also you have audit. Do you have proper backup or not? Do you have a hack proof platform or not? Do you have malware protection or not? Do you have data protection policy or not? Because you have international companies coming and doing business with you, and they certainly don't want the data to be leaked. There are a lot of illegal activities that happens. Yesterday there were 400 or between 400 and 500 people who got arrested from a BPO in Thane. Thane is a place, it's a suburb in Mumbai. This particular company hired people who would speak good English. They would call customers in United States and they will say that we are calling from government agency, you haven't paid the tax, please pay the tax, otherwise they will file a case against you. So people would get scared and they will pay money. So this was an illegal business. So somebody found out and obviously they got into trouble. So how do you ensure that whatever my information is going to India as a company, I am a company in United States, I am giving my business to India. Are they the right people? Are they protecting my data? I am sharing my phone number, I am sharing my bank account details. Are they protecting my data? So customer data privacy is very, very big. So somebody has to come and certify all this. So when you start working in an organization, you will understand all the implications of all this. You will not get all this knowledge from books, it comes from experience. So I am trying to give as much as information as possible so that your general awareness also goes up. Clear? So coming back, regardless which stream you are from, your assessment will be pretty much the same. You will be tested on your logical reasoning, you will be tested on your ability to solve a problem within a stipulated amount of time. For example, you have 30 questions, you need to solve that in 45 minutes. They want to check, do you work with speed as well as accuracy? I am supposed to reach from point A to point B within 15 minutes, but I also need to reach safe, right? So that is what speed and accuracy is all about, and I do reach exactly where I am supposed to reach. So let's go back to the presentation here. So written assessment, we have aptitude, verbal ability, essay writing, comprehension. We have interview skills. Can we have the presentation on the screen? Yes. Interview, you will have panel interview or one-on-one. Some companies do panel interview where they have more than one person asking questions. This interview will focus on technical round and HR round. Then you have jam session. In jam session, you are supposed to speak about a topic in 1 minute. The topic could be, please tell me something about yourself. Yesterday I told you how the flow should be. And group discussion where they want to gauge your confidence level, your attitude as a team member and leadership skills. So whichever stream you are from, you will be assessed on this. Now company specific process, the selection process, Capgemini will have essay writing but no verbal ability. All the companies will have general aptitude, alright. Tech Mahindra will have essay writing and visual based essay. They will show you a picture, you need to write an essay on that. Wipro will have general English, Infosys will have reading comprehension, a paragraph will be given and there will be questions on that. And Emphasis will have Versant. I hope you guys are doing homework on Versant. General aptitude and verbal ability most of the companies will have except Capgemini. So you want to be hired, you want to see your picture on this ID card. How do you do that? Attend the training, understand as much as possible and please ask questions. I requested you, I categorically told you that please ask questions. You can comment on the YouTube page. So far only 2 students have posted, but now we are giving you more freedom, we are giving you more flexibility. So if you look at the screen, I hope the number, can we have the number getting flashed all over again please? So I am opening up the line for next 15-20 minutes. If I have more callers, I will take more callers. So for interaction, I'm going to read out the number for you. The prefix is 040, that's a code for Hyderabad, 23551989, 23551989 and 23553473. I repeat, 23551989, 23553473. These are the two numbers you can call. I'm going to start with a little recap session, but the lines are open now in case if somebody wants to call and ask me a question and clarify certain areas. You are welcome. We'll do this interaction for next 20 minutes or something. We'll see how it goes. If nobody is interested, obviously I'll get started with my session. The reason I requested for this interactive session is so that you guys can ask questions, and they are working hard to make this facility available to you. Okay, so please make the use of it. Clear? So the lines are open. You may call right now. I can hear you and I will respond to you. The moment I get to know somebody is going to call, I will get the signal and I will answer your questions. So please pick up your phone. You can call from your mobile phone. If you have a landline, you can use that as well. But please do call. Okay. All right. Looks like no calls. So let's do a quick recap. So what we learned so far is pretty simple. We learned four pillars. What did we learn in four pillars? They are pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary and fluency. In terms of pronunciation, we are basically talking about sounds. In sounds, we spoke about two different kind of sound. One is consonant sound and then you have vowel sound. How many consonant sounds do we have? 24. How many vowel sounds do we have? 15. What is the distribution of vowel sounds? So we have long vowel, short vowel, diphthong. 6 long vowel, 6 short vowel and 3 diphthongs, right? This is what we learned. And why is sound necessary? It's as simple as this. If I may erase the header, because now we understand what we are talking about. I have a word which is a camera. So I am starting with the letter C. Camera starts with the letter C. And I have another word which is city. So though the first letter is same, what is happening is here I am using the function of a k, here I am using the function of a s. So I say city and I say camera like k. So the way I spell the words, I don't pronounce it the same way. That's why it becomes little complex, and that's why it's called a non-phonetic language. What you spell is not what you say. That's why these sounds, understanding these sounds is very important. You should not be making any kind of pronunciation mistakes. Okay? Some common words where people usually make pronunciation mistakes. We did a lot of word practice, right? Common words where we make pronunciation mistake. Lot of people call this or pronounce this as environment. It's not environment, it's environment. Likewise, there is another word government, but people pronounce this as government. So government is wrong, it's government. Now, why do people make mistakes in terms of pronunciation? That is because of regional influence. People who speak Telugu, they have lot of words that ends with the oo sound. So people, I've heard people say take left to right to. It's not left to or right to. Please give me a pennu. That it's not pennu, it's pen. Alright, you are going are you coming so we end up with that means it's a question, but you cannot speak English that way, right? What differentiates you from any other communicator is the accuracy of your pronunciation, accuracy of your grammar, a very strong vocabulary and a very smooth fluency. So what did I just say? Accurate pronunciation, accurate grammar, strong vocabulary and smooth fluency. So second aspect that we spoke about was in terms of grammar. What did we learn in grammar? We learnt parts of speech: noun, pronoun, adverb, verb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection, right? We learnt all that. Like noun, any name, pronoun is a substitute for noun, verb is action, adjective that qualifies a noun. So adverb which qualifies a verb, preposition that defines the place, conjunction that combines two sentences, interjection in terms of exclamation, expression. Then we also learnt one important aspect which is in terms of how the verb changes form with regards to tense. So when we bring a time to a work, how the word should change. I gave you the example of go becomes went. I also gave you example of buy becomes bought, right? So just because from present tense it's changing to past tense, it changes the form gets changed, right? So that is important. I also spoke in length about subject verb agreement. What do we mean by subject? Subject is the doer, the noun, whichever noun is doing the action. So when you have a plural form, the verb should be plural form. If you have a singular form, the verb should be singular form. And what was the rule? If you are using a singular form of the noun, the subject. Okay, I think we have a call. Hi, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, can you speak a little louder, please?
Sir, we are listening Mana TV program, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. We are very fine, thank you. How about you, sir?
I am very happy that you called. You are the first caller. What's your name?
Sir, I am Mr. Prasad Rao from Sai Sri Degree College, Doon, sir.
Prasad Rao, good afternoon. Yes, what is your question?
The question is, sir, may I know how many vowel sounds are there in English, sir?
How many vowel sounds? Thank
sir,
you for...
He said 15 vowel sounds, sir, but I have seen the number of vowel sounds in textbook 20.
Okay.
I just want to clarify my doubt, sir.
Sure. Are you a student or a faculty?
Sir?
Are you a student or a faculty?
I am a faculty of Sai Sri Degree College, sir, Donu.
Okay, all right. I will explain to you.
I just have a doubt.
Yeah, sure. I will explain to you. I hope I am audible. So the question that Mr. Prasad asked was, I hope I remember the name, Mr. Prasad. Yes. The question that he asked is, how many vowel sounds do we have? I told you we have 15 vowel sounds, and he said in textbook he has read there are 20 vowel sounds. So let me explain who is right and who is wrong. The good news is Mr. Prasad is not wrong. He is perfect. There are indeed 20 vowel sounds. How is it 20? It's 20 because we talk about long vowel, short vowel, diphthong, and there is another aspect which is triphthong. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have long vowel, short vowel, diphthong and triphthong. Triphthong is also a part of vowel sound, but it's slightly more complex, like a schwa sound. For adult training, for corporate training, for people who are looking for jobs in corporates, and for adult training, we focus only on these three aspects, because if you master this, that is good enough, that is sufficient. Who should be focusing on triphthong? People who are going in linguistic background, people who are doing extensive study on linguistic, on language, on root of the language, root of sounds, origin of the language. So for them we include triphthong. Since this training is particularly aimed at students to get jobs in corporates, the idea is to make them speak as clear as possible, to make them pronounce the words as clear as possible and accurately. That's why we focus on 24 consonant sounds and 15 vowel sounds. Okay? So yes, we do have 20 vowel sounds, but for the usage purpose, for people looking for jobs where you need to improve your pronunciation skills, we focus on 15 vowel sounds only, because that is what is primary and that is needed. All right, I hope Mr. Prasad, I hope that answered your question. If he is still online, I am not very sure. Yes sir, are you there? Okay, I should continue. Okay, all right. So that was the first caller. Wow, this was successful. So any more students, anybody else, if you have questions, please ask. I am not charging you money to answer your question, it's free. All right. So we spoke about grammar in terms of subject verb agreement. What did we learn? If the subject form is singular, I will add S at the end of the verb. If the subject is plural, I will drop the S from the verb, which basically means there should be an agreement between the subject and the verb. For example, the boy plays cricket, right? Here the boy is singular, so I will add the S. If I say the boys, then I will remove the S. So subject verb agreement for perfect grammar. If you are talking about a singular, okay, we have another caller. Very good. Okay, please ask your question. Oh, it got disconnected. Okay, all right, no problem. Don't worry, the idea is to have you ask questions. You can call, no problem at all. So when your subject is singular, you will add S. So singular starts with S. We have a caller.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, sir. Is it Ron?
Yeah, this is Ron. Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, sir. See, I have a question. Why is it write in ink rather than write with ink? See, I have a small question here. See, I'm third final year B.S.C. student. I have a small question, sir. Why is it, I read it in somewhere, like write in red ink rather than write with red ink. May I know why was it, why is it write in red ink write with red ink rather than write in red ink?
Okay, so sir, may I know your name, please?
My name is Vinod, sir.
Vinod, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Molkalcheru, sir. It's Blossom Degree College.
Can you repeat the name of the place, please?
Molkalcheru, it's near Madanpalli, sir.
Okay, all right. It's a slightly difficult name for me to pronounce. Okay, so Mr. Vinod has a question that he has read in a lot of documents which says write with red ink and write in red ink. So the instruction says write in red ink. Is that what you said? He's not there. Okay, it's okay. All right. So the question, yeah. So the question is, what does the instruction say? Does it say write in or write with?
Write in.
Write in. And you are saying it should be write with, right?
I mean, I have small doubt. Why wasn't it with?
Okay, got it. Got it. So here the question he is asking, there is a statement or there is an instruction on a lot of documents which says write in red ink or write with red ink. I just put a dot because I don't want to write so much. The question Mr. Vinod is asking is which one is appropriate? Now before I give you the answer, let's understand what exactly these two words are. These two words are preposition, like keep the book on the table, please go with this person. With whom? This person, that person becomes another noun, but with you are joining. Clear? So this is a preposition in this particular example. If I say write in red ink, what does it mean? I am writing inside the red ink. Grammatically, that is what it means. If I pick the literal grammatical sense, it means write in red ink. It's like me telling you that please come in formals. It doesn't, now in this context, it doesn't mean come inside the formals. It means wear formal dress and come. So if you have to look at this particular statement, write in red ink or write with red ink, if I have to take a literal meaning of write with red ink, literally it may be inaccurate or incorrect. It's like please come with your brother. That means your brother is coming along with you. So that's why it sounds inaccurate. There are words where it can lead to misunderstanding. In this case, write in red ink is more appropriate. Okay. Say for example, I have a word which is toward. Please go towards the city. Some people say that toward itself is correct, you don't need an S here. It's not needed. It still grammatically holds true. Okay. So that in terms of usage, the way the language evolves, people tend to perceive it differently. So coming back to the question that Mr. Vinod asked, write in red ink or write with red ink? The appropriate one is write in red ink. Should I write in blue ink or red ink or black ink? So in is appropriate here, not with. Okay. Secondly, he started, Mr. Vinod started asking his question by saying, I have a small question. Okay. Now what is the meaning of small? Small is in terms of size. I have a chalk piece here. So this is a small piece, this is a larger piece, a big piece and a small piece. Now my question to Mr. Vinod and everybody else is, what is the size of the question that he asked? You cannot define a size of a question, can you? You cannot. So please stop using the term I have a small question. Never say I have a small question, I have a big question, I have an important question. Questions are important, that's why you ask. And you cannot put a size to a question, you cannot measure a question, right? So these are some examples of a perfect communicator and how you differentiate a perfect communicator. We have another caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. What's your name?
My name is Uma, sir.
Yes, ma'am. What's your question?
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు కమ్యూనికేషన్ స్కిల్స్ గురించి చెప్తున్నారు కదా.
Okay. The bad news for you is, sorry, the good news for you is I will answer your question. The bad news is I don't know Telugu. See, I have been teaching you English communication, right? So you need to ask me. If you're not comfortable asking the question in English, please repeat the question in Telugu. Oops. So if somebody is not comfortable asking a question in English, please try. So we have a caller. Hi, do we have a caller? Disconnected? Okay. So if you have a question you're not comfortable asking in English, please try. This is a practice session with me. Don't hesitate to ask me questions. If you're not comfortable to speak in English, fine, ask me a question in Telugu. I will try to answer. But please do ask questions. Asking question is very, very important. You know why it's important? Okay. So this is something which is nothing to do with communication, but it has got something to do with our behavior. Of all the people who are attending this session today or since last 2 weeks, one thing is common among all of you is fear. This fear is something that is a roadblock between you and what you want to do. There is a fear in between. It's like a wall. You have the fear that if I ask a question, what will he say? If I don't speak properly, what will he think? We keep thinking about what others are thinking about us and we don't push ourselves. This fear is something, it's nothing new. It has been put in our mind by our parents, by our teacher. The reason we do not know many things in our life is because we don't ask. If you don't ask, the fear will remain where it is. If the room is dark, you need to light a candle if there is no electricity, right? If you fear that if I light the candle, suddenly there will be a wind, a strong wind, and the candle will get blown off, you will remain in darkness forever. So don't fear. This fear is something which is fundamentally put in our mind. As small kids, we are grown up or we are raised in a particular fashion, especially in India, in our culture, right? And I find fundamentally wrong, something is fundamentally wrong the way we are brought up. Because as kids we are told, please don't ask questions. If you ask a question to your teacher, why, as a kid, why is 2 plus 2 is 4? Please explain to me, and they will be like, don't ask questions. I am telling you, just write and by heart it. So we end up by hearting the whole thing all our life. We don't ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you will never know what is the reason behind it. Some behavior becomes a practice. Say for example, in Indian culture, women are not supposed to comb the hair after sunset, or you're not supposed to cut your nails after sunset. Why do you do that? If you ask, your parents will say, don't ask questions. This is as per our rituals, as per our customs, we are supposed to follow it. But there is a reason. The reason is, back in the days, there was no electricity, so after sunset it will be dark. If you cut your nails, if you comb your hair, it will fall into the food and you will end up consuming and you will fall sick. That's why they say, please don't do it. But instead of giving an answer, they have created a fear. The fear is absolutely illogical, that if you comb your hair, something wrong will happen. If you cut your nails, we will lose all our money, all our property. So people just create stories around it. They don't tackle the fear itself. So when I speak about public speaking, where you can stand up and speak in front of an audience, I will talk about this fear factor more. So if you are watching this program live right now on YouTube, if you have the fear, please stop the fear. Ask me questions. The reason I would discourage you from asking question in Telugu is only because I don't understand the language. So if you ask in English, I will be able to understand and respond accurately. Clear? So please don't fear, please ask questions. So in grammar, we looked at different scenarios. I also told you how to improve your grammar, pronunciation. I hope some of you are surely doing the assignments where you need to read a paragraph, you need to learn a new word, use them, you look at the context, pronounce them, and start speaking with each other as much as possible. In terms of vocabulary, I spoke in length about how vocabulary adds on to your communication in terms of your knowledge of words and the knowledge of the usage. If you remember, I gave you the example of the word fake, duplicate and counterfeit, where you need to know which word has to be used where. I gave you example of words like influence, impact, effect. So you need to think which word can be used where. That's what we looked at, vocabulary. We looked at opposite word, we looked at synonyms, similar words, so on and so forth. In terms of fluency, I spoke about how a person can become fluent. I spoke about the areas which impacts your pronunciation. They are fillers, foghorns, false start, pause and wrong pause, intonation and rate of speech, right? I hope you remember all that. And yesterday we spoke in length about listening skills. We saw the types of listening, we saw the stages of listening, and we also saw the internal and external barrier. To improve your speaking and your listening skills, what I would suggest is try to look for programs on YouTube like TEDx or TED communities where you can hear speakers. Try to understand what they are saying and don't look at the screen. Keep on going back. For example, if you are playing a video 0 to 15 seconds, keep on playing 0 to 15 seconds. Whatever they are saying, try to write down on a notepad and then check with the subtitles if it's matching or not. That way you will be able to improve your listening skills. Remember, listening is not only hearing, listening is about comprehension and also response to it. Clear? Lot of information I gave, right? Lot of recap done. And now I also before I go forward, we also spoke about speaking skills. For example, if it's for jam session, how should you speak? You should introduce yourself. You should speak about your education background in reverse order. You should speak a little on your family background. You should definitely speak about your strength and weakness. We have a caller. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Sir, yesterday I think some 30 questions are explained, sir.
Yes.
Question number. Sir, one of the bit you says he.
Okay, let me open the slide. Actually, yesterday I did not use the questions. It was day before.
Before of the class, sir. Last class, sir.
Do you remember which question it is?
Number. 14, sir.
Restraint?
14, sir.
No, I use the number 14 a lot of time. Is this the question?
Sir,
He didn't usually dash.
Sir, I read that question, sir.
Okay.
He didn't usually dash
Any tea when he was in London.
Sir,
He didn't usually
dash any tea
When he was in London.
when he was in London.
Okay.
Another drink.
Just a moment. I'm trying to look for the question for you. Can you repeat the question for me,
14,
please?
sir.
23, sir.
Question number.
23, sir.
No, 23 was used a lot of times. So,
Sir, no, sir.
okay, please go ahead. Okay, I think I found the question. Is it number 23? He didn't usually dash any tea when he was in London. Is that the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is your doubt here?
Sir, please explain once again, sir, that bit.
Okay, once again, thank you so much. See,
Thank you, sir.
Sir, what's your name
Chandrasekhar, sir.
and where are you calling from?
Srikakulam, sir.
Mr. Chandrasekhar from Srikakulam. And are you a student or a faculty, sir?
Faculty, sir.
Sir, I have a quick question before I answer this question to you. Is this training helpful to the students?
Yes, sir. Wonderful.
Okay, no, I'm not asking for compliment. I'm asking, is it helpful? Is it effective? Are they learning?
Okay, I think I found the question.
They are learning, right?
I think I found the question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will quickly answer this particular question. Let's look at the question once. Mr. Chandrasekhar from Srikakulam, he is a faculty and he has a question, or he needs more clarity on question number 23. It says, he didn't usually dash any tea when he was in London. The correct answer was, he didn't usually drink. So C is the correct answer. In case if I gave a different answer last time, my apologies. I don't remember what answer I gave you, but the correct answer is C. Now, why is it C and nothing else? Let's look at all the options one by one. Option number 1 is drank. Okay. What is option number 2? Option number 2 is drunk. Option number 3 is drink. And option number 4 is drinks. Let's understand what these words mean one by one. Drank is a past tense of drink. Drank is the past tense of drink. What do you mean by drunk? Drunk is an adjective. It's a state. For example, I saw a drunk person driving his car, which is illegal. Here drunk means adjective. A drunk person or a sober, S-O-B-E-R, means a person who is not intoxicated. Drunk person, what do you call drunk in Telugu? A drunk person, what do you call that in Telugu, sir? Tagadam. A tagadam person means you are defining the person, right? That's why it's an adjective. It's not an appropriate answer. Here the question is, he didn't usually dash any tea when he was in London. The second word and the first word is he. What is he? Is it singular or plural? Singular. Didn't or did not. What form it is in terms of time? It is past tense. So, if you already have used a past tense form, your verb should be present tense form. For example, I didn't eat, I didn't go. We don't say I didn't went. I didn't buy. We don't say I didn't bought, right? We say I didn't eat anything. You don't say I didn't ate anything. I didn't speak. You don't say I didn't spoke, which means if you are using a didn't form or did not form, which is a present tense, your verb, past tense, my apologies, past tense, your verb will be present tense. Since I am using a singular form and I am also using a past tense form, That's why I will say he didn't drink any tea when he was in London. If I am talking about a present scenario, then I will use he drinks tea, a positive statement here. If it's a positive statement, I will say he usually drinks tea in the evening or morning, doesn't matter. But here I am using a singular form, he, then I have a past tense form, didn't. That's why I will use this particular word, he didn't usually drink. You will not say he didn't usually drinks. You will not say that. I hope I answered your question and cleared the doubt in your mind. Okay, so let's move on. So those who have questions, you can still ask, no problem at all. Like in a classroom, people keep asking question, I'm fine with that. Okay, so the time is 3 right now. I have a request for a quick break because I keep standing. The camera person, they are the one who are constantly working. They keep standing. Last day of the training, I would want all the technicians to come in front, stand here so that you can see them and clap for them. They're working so hard for you. So we'll take a quick break for 4 minutes. All right, a quick break for 4 minutes. We will come back and I will continue. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please don't call now because the technicians also need a break. The moment I come back on the screen, if you have questions, please feel free to ask these questions. And if you notice, I'm going very slow so that I can help you as much as possible. Okay, we'll take a quick break. We'll see you in 4 minutes. Thank you. We'll resume in 4 minutes. All right, we are back again. Welcome back. I hope the short break was helpful. If anybody wants to go to the washroom, drink water, that's what we also did. Okay, so the lines are open again. If you have questions, please do call, and I'm going to answer whatever questions that comes to me. And one important information, if you're not comfortable speaking in English, ask in Telugu. Somebody will translate for me, so don't worry about it. But please do ask questions. Prashnam adagandi, no problem at all. All right, let's go. So we spoke about listening, we spoke about speaking skills. Oh, we have a caller.
Very good afternoon, Ron.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. See, actually I'm degree final year student of B.S.C.
Yes.
Last year I went to Bangalore. I have some couple of months holidays, so I went to Bangalore to face an interview in BPO.
Okay.
While facing, they asked a small question, with which I'm facing a small. I want to know the appropriate answer for it. He asked, "What's your weakness?"
Okay. What's the weakness?
What's your weakness? So, what's the appropriate answer I have to give for that question?
And your name, please?
My name is Adinarayana.
Hari Narayana.
Yes,
And where are you calling from?
Blossom Degree College.
Which place?
It's near Tirupati.
Near Tirupati. Okay. Mr. Hari Narayana has asked a very brilliant question. In an interview, if they ask, what is your weakness? What should I say? In an interview, that's a very pertinent question. Pertinent means they usually ask this question, what is your weakness? If you remember, when I was talking about speaking skills, I did speak about this aspect of strength and weakness, if you remember. If we can have the presentation on the screen, please. If you could have the presentation on the screen, it says speaking, understand the purpose, clear and concise, prepare, maintain proper rate of speech, be relaxed and confident. And the flow, in the flow I have mentioned self introduction, education background, family background, strength and weakness. Then you can speak about hobbies and interest. All right. So why should we speak about weakness? I will speak about what exactly is a weakness. Why should I speak about it? And how should I speak about it? I will speak about all these three aspects. Remember, in an interview, they will mostly ask this question. They usually want to know, okay, I will take the question once I am done with this answer, please. Please hold on, let me quickly answer this question, then I will take the next caller. Okay, the call is disconnected. So, in an interview, you will definitely speak about your strength, you will speak about your weakness. But in your resume, you will mention only your strength, but not the weakness. Never put your weakness on a paper, on a document, but speak about it. Now, let's understand what is a weakness. A weakness is a trait, a weakness is a behavior which I call, or which is termed as, or which should be portrayed as a developmental area. What do you mean by developmental area? Developmental area means area where you need to work on. We have a caller. Hello, hi.
Sir, this is Indravamshi from Nalanda Degree College, sir.
Yes.
I have a small doubt, and the doubt is what is the difference between the few and fewer? The word fewer seems to be different. In which context it is used? Can you please tell me that?
Sure. Few, F-E-W, few, and F-E-W-E-R, fewer, right?
Yes.
Okay, I will give you the answer, sir. What's your name, please?
This is Indravamshi, sir.
All right, Mr. Vamshi, right? Indra Vamshi.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Indra Vamshi, if you could just wait for 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
I already got a question which I am answering. So once
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
done with that, I will answer your question.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
I'll
for your
wait.
question.
Thank
To answer the question about weakness, what do you mean by weakness? Weakness is not a bad thing. Please understand. It's not a negative attitude. It's not a negative trait. Weakness basically means a developmental area. Developmental area means something which you need to improve. You are here and you want to be here. So this is a improvement, sorry, this is an improvement area that you can term as a weakness. So weakness is developmental area which you need to work on. Why should I speak about it? I should speak about my weakness in an interview to portray or to display that I know myself very well. I know what I am good at. I know what I need to work on. You are never bad at anything. It's either you are good at something or you need to be better at the other aspects based on your interest. The reason you should speak about weakness is to tell your interviewer or to portray that you know your inner strength as well as you know your inner developmental area. Why should you or how should you speak about it? The weakness should be portrayed in a way which is actually a strength. I gave an example of being stubborn yesterday. Stubborn means if you decide to do it, you will do it. Nobody can change your mind. So you show that as a weakness. If I have to look at the positive aspect of being stubborn, I can say I am a stubborn person. That means if I join this organization, if you give me a task, I will surely finish this task. Only then I will move to something else. That means once I put my mind into something, I will definitely do it. Another way of putting forward a weakness is I am an introvert. 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 Let me write it down. Introvert, the opposite is extrovert. Introvert basically means a person who is involved with himself or herself. They don't find it very comfortable to speak to lot of people. They don't really interact with lot of people. So we can call being introvert as my weakness. Say for example, sir, one of my weaknesses, I think I am an introvert person. I find it little uncomfortable to talk to people. Okay, we have another caller. Yes, please go ahead. What's your question? Please go ahead. What's your question? Okay, all right. So let me continue. So I say I am an introvert person. Introvert means I don't find it very comfortable to talk to a lot of people. The reason I think I'm introvert because I have been living in this city. I have a set friends or classmates whom I have grown up with. When I meet unfamiliar people, I find it little uncomfortable. I take time to interact with them. Yes, it's a weakness, but it's also a strength. How is it a strength? You can say I'm an introvert. Okay, we have a caller.
Please check the
Disconnected. Being an introvert is also positive because you know this person is not going to spend too much time talking to a lot of people. Your team will have 15 people, 20 people. If you're an extrovert, you go and talk to everyone when you start your day and you waste your time. Introvert here means you are very focused with yourself. You mind your own business. You deal with only your thing. But when you speak about a weakness, you also need to speak about an action plan. And why is it a weakness? Say for example, you say that sir, I think one of my weaknesses the fear of speaking on the stage. My stage fear is my weakness. We have a caller. Yes, please ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm from Prism College, sir.
Prism College. Yes, I have been to Prism College. Yes, please ask your question.
My doubt is that is the communication class going on, sir? We are getting another video and I'm speaking to some other person here.
This is a live broadcast of communication training. What are you getting to see?
My question is that whenever we speak something, we speak in some other tense, and whenever we write something, we write in some other tense.
Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example?
Like whenever I talk to someone, like it's actually my doubt, like how I have to write it, like in what tense I have to speak and what tense I have to write. If suppose the situation has already happened, and how I have to write it on a paper, and how I have to discuss with my friend if it has already happened. Is there any variation in speaking and writing? I just want to know about that.
Sure. What's your name, please?
My name is Sunanda, sir.
Sunanda from Prism College.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Vijayawada, right? Prism College?
No, it's from Visakhapatnam.
Vishakhapatnam. I'm so sorry. Yes. Prism
Yeah.
College, Vishakhapatnam. All right. Thank you for your question. My request to production team, please hold on to all the calls for next 10 minutes because I have 3 questions which I need to answer. Once guys, please don't call now, call after 10 minutes because I have 3 questions which I need to answer and I'm still on the first question. So we were talking about the weakness. So when I say my weakness is being introvert, I basically mean I mind my own business. And when you speak about a weakness, you should also speak about the action plan and why is it happening. For example, sir, my weakness is I have stage fear. One reason could be because I never got many opportunities to speak on the stage. I never got many platforms. So now that I will be interacting with people outside my comfort zone, outside my familiar area, the more opportunities I get, I will get to learn more, and I think I will conquer upon my fear of speaking on the stage. I am an introvert person. I don't interact with many people, but that could be because of I haven't traveled outside. I haven't interacted with people whom I don't know. So once I'm in that environment, I will end up learning. So you basically the how factor of the weakness, the way you portray the weakness is it should look like a strength. For example, I am a workaholic person. Once I start a work, I don't think of anything else. I miss on my social connections. I miss on attending dinners, birthdays of my friends because I'm so involved in the project. I know it's not good. I need to balance it. So once I start working, I will also learn the tricks of balancing my work life and my personal life, my professional and my personal life. So you speak about a weakness and make it look like a strength. You also talk about what is your action plan. But in terms of strength and weakness, remember, speak about those behaviors which is an advantage to the organization. That's a strength. Speak about those areas which is a developmental need in you. If you don't develop, it could be a disadvantage to the organization. For example, stage fear. It's a developmental need. You will learn over a period of time. How is it a disadvantage to the team or the organization? Tomorrow you have to go to, say, Germany. You have to go to New York and you need to make a presentation in front of the clients. If you have the fear, how will you do it? So you will learn over a period of time. So I repeat, when it comes to weakness, speak about those areas which is a developmental need. By improving upon it, it will become a strength and it should look like a strength. Okay. The next question that I got, where's the duster? Okay, the next question that I got was a difference between few and fewer. Difference between few and fewer. The word fewer is used when you compare. When you are comparing one to another. The word few you use when you are speaking about something in specific. There are only few pens left in the cupboard. I have only a few chalk pieces lying with me. So I am not comparing it with anything. But if I have to compare these two boxes, so if you can see the boxes, is it clear? Yeah. There are fewer chalk pieces in this compared to this. So here, okay, this is clear. So you see here you have only like 2, 3, here you have a lot of chalk pieces. So there are fewer chalk pieces lying in the box compared to this box, because now I am comparing. Okay, I dropped the chalk piece. So few is used when you are speaking to specific. There are very few students sitting in the classroom. There are fewer students sitting in the classroom today. That means yesterday there were more students. So here you are comparing. So when you have fewer, you are comparing. Few means you are speaking in specific. Another example, for example, large and larger. Large means speaking in specific. This is a large board because I am speaking in specific. If I have another board, this is a paper, but imagine this is just a board. This is a larger board because now I am comparing between this and this. When you use the ER at the end of the word, you are comparing it. That's when you will say fewer because you are comparing it, you will say larger because you are comparing it. Clear? So first question I have answered, second question I have answered. Third question, Sunanda from Prism College. I'm so sorry, I forgot what the question was. Does anybody remember here what the question was? Okay, I should take it down. This is a learning for me. This is a learning. I should keep a notepad so that I can just take it down. Sunanda, if possible, please do call back. My apologies, because I kept getting calls and I wanted to answer the first two questions first. So now I don't remember what your question was. So please do call back and ask your question. So I will move to the slide where I am supposed to speak. Meanwhile, if I remember what your question is, I will go ahead and answer. But please do call back and ask your question. This is for Sunanda from Prism College in Vizag. Please call back and ask your question again, because I didn't take it down and unfortunately I have forgotten what the question is. So waiting for the call. While we are waiting, we will get started with the slides again. We will speak about the writing skills. Okay, yes, I remember what Sunanda asked. Thank you. Thank you. So Sunanda's question from Prism College in Vizag was, what is the difference of the tense form when I speak versus when I write? That was the question. What is the difference of tense form when I speak versus when I write? There is no difference at all, but it depends on the context as to what narrative is going to the receiver. The receiver is a person whom you are speaking to, or whoever is reading what you have written. What kind of narrative you want to portray? For example, I am speaking about something that happened in the past, and that is, say, yesterday. Yesterday, while going home from my office, I fell down from the bike and I want to narrate. First, I want to state, okay, we have a caller. Hello, hi.
Good evening, sir. My name is Kusuma.
Kusuma, hi. Where are you calling from?
Sri V.R.J. Women's Degree College at Venkatgiri. I have a small doubt, sir.
Small doubt? How small? This small? This small? How small? It's a doubt. It's a question. All right? Don't say small. Yes.
Okay, sir. How to develop listening skills in English language?
Sure, I will answer your question. How to develop listening skills in English language? I will surely answer, Kusuma. Let me finish answering Sunanda's question. I'll come to you. So the first question, the third question that I'm answering is the tense form differentiation. So it depends on the narrative, what exactly and how exactly I want to narrate. If I want to narrate in complete past tense, so I will tell Sunanda, you know what, yesterday I left office at 10 o'clock and while I was going home, I skidded, the bike skidded and I fell down. I broke my fingers. I went to the doctor. The doctor gave me an injection of tetanus. After that, I went home. So now I have narrated everything in past tense. If I have to write an email or a text message to Sunanda, I will write in the same manner. Just wanted to inform you, I fell down from the bike yesterday. I broke my finger. I went to the doctor. He gave me injection, and they also put some plasters, and then I went home. I am narrating everything with a flavor of past tense. That's why I say I fell down from the bike, fell instead of fall. I broke my finger instead of break, I say I broke. I went to the doctor instead of go, I say I went to the doctor. He gave me injection, not gives or give. He gave me injection. After that, I went home. Again, I don't say go, I say went, because my entire narrative is in past tense. Now, if I want to make a narrative as if it is happening right now, where I want my receiver to imagine what is going on right now, which actually happened in the past. So I say, so I was going I was traveling on my bike, and suddenly the bike skids and I fall. Now I am making it sound as if it's happening in past tense. It's like watching a movie, you see a flashback, but the flashback, when it comes on the screen, it looks like it's happening now, but actually it happened in the past, because it's showing the same thing again. So it depends on the narrative. Irrespective you are writing or you are speaking, if your narrative has to be present tense, you will speak in present tense. If the narrative has to be past tense, you will speak in past tense. If the narrative has to be future tense, regardless you are writing or speaking, it will be future tense. For example, if I have to give direction, so you are supposed to take a left turn, then go straight and take a right. But if I want to make it a present tense narrative, so now that you are going straight and suddenly you will see a big water tank on the right side, okay, the moment you see the water tank, take a right. Now I am making it sound it's a present tense. So to answer your question in a nutshell, the tense form will be as per the narrative. If the narrative is past tense, it will be past tense forms of words only, irrespective you are speaking or you are writing. I hope I answered your question. If you are not happy, you can call back and ask. Another question that I got from Ms. Kusuma is how to improve listening skills. Now, first and foremost, okay, we have a caller. Please ask your question. Please ask your question. Good afternoon. Hi. Hello. Hello. Do we have anyone asking questions? Call drop. Okay. So how do I improve my listening skills? First of all, you pronounce the word incorrectly. The word is listen, not listen. You said, how do I improve my listening skills? Ma'am, it's not listening skills, it's listening skills. This is a s sound. It's not a z sound. Okay. So don't say z sound. We have a caller. Hello, please ask your question. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, my name is T. Pawan Kumar from Nagaram College, sir, HRMC.
Yes, sir. What's your question?
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. How much time to take for answering a question after listening of a speech or a class? For doubt, please.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question for me, please?
Sir, how much time to take for answering a question? One delegate answering the question.
In an
how
interview?
How much time to take? Yes, sir.
In an interview. Your question is, in an interview, what
Yes,
is an
sir.
appropriate time I should take to answer a question, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will answer that. Thank you so much. I will answer that. I'll go back to listen and listening. So the pronunciation is listen. It's not listen. Likewise, it's listening, not listening. Clear? Now, how do we improve listening skills? Number 1, start speaking. Number 2, start reading loud so that you can hear your own voice. Number 3, which is the most important part, if you have a computer at home with internet connection, go to YouTube and watch some documentaries like BBC documentary or National Geographic documentary. Some of these documentaries will have a subtitle in the bottom. Okay? So, say for example, you play a particular documentary with subtitle. Don't look at the subtitle, listen to it for 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Start play and it keeps talking, the video, the person is talking. Start making a note whatever the person is saying for 30 seconds. Then go back, again play, again listen and keep writing to get every word right on a notebook. Once you finish writing, play the video and compare what you have written, is it matching with the subtitle. That way you will understand what is the gap. How do you fill that gap? You need to listen to more people. The problem is we all like talking, but we don't like listening. You need to listen to some good speakers. You need to listen to some good speech. And when you are listening, pay attention to the lip movement. And when you speak, speak with your mouth open so that you can pronounce the words correctly. Listen to as many speech as possible. Spend half an hour every day. Watch some YouTube video. Listen to English news, English program. We have a caller. Let's answer this question first. Hello, you have a question for me? All right. Do we have a caller? You have a question?
Listen to as many speakers possible. Spend half an hour every day. Watch some YouTube videos.
Those whoever are asking question, please put your TV or the computer on mute. Yes, do we have a caller? Do you have a question? Somebody got a question for me? If you have a question, please reduce the volume of your TV or your computer and then ask the question.
Okay, sir.
You have a question for me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, are you Mr. Ram, sir?
Yes, this is Ron.
Sir, how are you, sir?
Yes, I am doing very well. What's your name?
Sir, my name is Mahesh, sir.
Yes, Mahesh, please go ahead.
Sir, now we both are speaking, sir, but it's not coming in live, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. There is a doubt, sir, on vowel sounds, sir.
Okay.
As I studied before, sir.
Yes, I'm listening to you. Please go ahead, Mahesh.
As I studied before in shorthand,
Uh-huh.
there are vowel sounds in different ways, sir.
Okay.
Those are P, B, T, D.
Those are consonant sounds.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Those are consonant sounds.
Correct.
They are in P, B.
Yes.
In this way, sir. But you told in pa, ba, ta.
Yes.
So which is correct way, sir?
Okay. And where did you learn that, Mahesh?
Sir, it's a shorthand class in our school, sir. In my
Okay.
school.
All right. Okay, I will quickly answer this question. All right. Thank you, Mahesh. Thanks for your question. I will answer this question. Okay. Can I get a pen and paper, please? Is it possible? Just a pen and paper so I can note down the questions. Okay. So I will answer this question as well. But let me finish the earlier questions. So how do we improve listening skills? Watch videos, watch documentary, listen to what they are saying, go to Google and just type listening practice. If you say listening practice, there will be some few free website that you will get. you need to play, it will play a dialogue or it will play a conversation between two people. Basically it will ask you to write down, or based on the conversation it will ask you a question and you need to select the correct answer. For example, if two people are talking, hi, what time are you going home? The other person says, I am going home at 6 o'clock. Now the question will be, what time is the person going home? So you will select 6 o'clock. These are some of the free exercise that you can find on internet, and you can just simply answer these questions and you can improve your listening skills. But you need to practice a lot. If you get time, you switch on the TV, watch some Telugu movie or Telugu song. Please stop doing that. Watch half an hour of CNN, BBC, so that it can improve your listening skills. It should be an everyday practice. Okay. If my memory is right, somebody asked a question, what should be the time gap between when the question is asked and when should I answer? How long should I take to answer a question in an interview? So it's pretty simple. In case if you know the answer, you will answer immediately. You will not wait. You will answer immediately. If you do not know the answer, there will be two ways of handling that question. One, you are not able to construct an answer. A 3 to 4 second gap is perfectly fine. So take 3-4 seconds gap, compose yourself, gather all your thought and then answer the question. Say for example, if the question is, if the person asks, if you are the Prime Minister of India, what are the 3 things you will do? I don't have a ready answer. So I can take a 2-3 second, not 5 seconds, max to max 4 seconds. Take a gap, so say, I'm sorry, let me please think. Okay, so if I am the Prime Minister of India, the first thing I will do is ensure education for every child free of cost in the country. Number 2, ensure health care for every person free of cost in the country. So I took 2-3 seconds and then I am answering. Okay, we have a caller. Please ask your question. Hello, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
My name is Vinay Kumar Reddy, sir.
Yes.
I am calling from Manapalli Gnanambika College.
Okay.
Sir, I speak in I try to speak in English, but I have the same word again and again.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, you have hesitation of speaking in English.
Yes, sir. I have, and again and again. One word. I am using the one word again and again.
Okay.
What I mean, what I have to.
Okay. Again and again. So you are asking, is it correct or incorrect? Is that your question? If using the term again and again, is it correct or incorrect?
Word again and again, like I mean. So how can I overcome that problem while I'm speaking with others?
Again and again, you mean that is it correct or wrong?
Sorry?
What is your question again, please?
While I'm speaking with other persons, I'm using the same word many times. Like
Oh, okay. So you basically using the same word more than once.
More than once.
More than once. So how do I overcome that? Okay.
Yeah.
There could be 2 reasons. Okay. And no more calls for next 5 minutes, please. No more calls for next 5-10 minutes. Let me answer all the questions. We have so many questions. Okay. So all right, let's go ahead. So the question, one of the question the caller asked, what should be the time gap between? Okay, we need to take a break. No. Okay, yeah. So no more questions. So there is a break on question answer. Please don't call now. Let me answer all the questions. All right. So what should be the time gap when I answer a question? The time gap should not exceed 3 to 4 seconds. And don't look up, don't look here and there when you answer the question. Just look straight, look up a little bit, not like too much, look up a little bit, try to gather your thoughts and then answer your question. So in interview, the gap between the question and answer should not exceed 3 to 4 seconds, and it should happen only when you do not have a ready answer. One person had asked me the question on pronunciation of consonant sounds, what he learnt in school and what I am teaching, which one is correct. What you have learnt in school or college is correct. What I also trained you is not incorrect. Basically, both are correct. What I am training in terms of pronunciation is in terms of the usage in your work life, in your professional life, to make it easier for you. What you have must learnt in your textbook in terms of pronunciation is in terms of linguistics, in terms of phonetics. Learning phonetics and linguistics is slightly challenging. That's why I train in a simplified manner. There is a sound which is schwa. I don't teach schwa. I don't teach triphthongs because it's difficult and complex, and you will find it difficult to apply and learn also. That's why I keep it simplified. I teach 24 consonant sounds and 15 vowel sounds. So what you learned in your textbook is right. What I am also training you is also right. But what I am training you is more practical for application in your daily communication. Alright. Then another question, the recent question, the latest question that I got is, I keep using the same word again and again when I speak to people. There are two reasons for it. Reason number one is you are using that as a filler. One of the caller who called, she said, I have a question like when I'm writing an email, like what should be the tense form, and if I'm speaking, like what should be the tense form. She used the word like 4-5 times, which is a filler, because here she is using the filler to enhance her fluency, which is good, but too much usage will become bad. So I repeat the same word again and again because I am using that as a filler. I use filler when I am trying to bring more fluency and I am trying to gather what I am thinking. Second reason why I use the same word again and again is lack of vocabulary. Lack of vocabulary basically means I know only one word, which is compulsory. I don't know the use of the word definitely, I don't know the use of the word surely, I don't know the use of the word mandatorily. So I use compulsory. The bus will come compulsory at 5 o'clock, I will compulsory go to the college, I will compulsory attend the session, my friend will compulsory give me the money. I am using the same word again and again because even though I know the other substitute words, mandatory, surely, definitely, I am not using it. So that's a vocabulary problem. Alright. So we use the same word because it's a filler or it's a vocabulary problem. So you need to build your vocabulary, understand the similar words and also understand the usage, the context of it. I hope that was clear. Now we can open the lines for more questions. If anybody got a question, please do ask. So we're supposed to take a break? Okay, we will take a 5-minute break, a quick 5-minute break, and we'll come back in 5 minutes. We'll open the lines in 5 minutes so that you can ask me questions. Alright, thank you. We will see you in 5 minutes. Welcome back to the session. So we had quite a few callers, apparently some 15 calls that we got today, and 4 callers could not get through, which is a good sign because the first session that we are opening up the lines and you can ask questions. All right. So I pretty much spoke about a detailed recap. I hope I answered all the questions that I got. If you still have questions, you can still call. You will see the number flashing on the screen very soon. So now that we know the numbers, meanwhile, when the callers are calling in, I will just get started with what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to speak a bit on writing skills. Writing skill is important not only from your aptitude test point of view. You will have general English. You will also have comprehension, where you would need to write certain narratives. For certain companies, you need to write essays. There's certain companies where you need to write emails. So considering these two aspects, a good writing skill is very, very important. All right. So let's have a look at the screen. In terms of writing, you know, you are supposed to write sentences. You are supposed to write paragraph. So can we have the presentation on the screen, please? There you go. So in terms of writing skills, I'm going to speak about rules and I'm going to speak about tips. I will pause this particular slide. Let's have the presentation on the screen for next 10 to 15 seconds so that the students can take down the first rule. The first rule says, use concrete rather than vague language. Vague means something which is not clear. Vague means which is not absolutely clear, or it lacks clarity. All right, or it's something which cannot be easily understood. For example, vague, the example sentence for vague: the weather was of extreme nature on the Western Ghats. That's an example of a vague statement. The statement says the weather was of extreme nature on the Western Ghats. The observation says this sentence raises frustrating questions. When did this extreme weather occur? What does of an extreme nature mean? Where on the west coast did this take place? So if I am speaking to someone, if I just say the weather was on extreme nature, was of an extreme nature on the Western Ghats, I'm not very clear. I'm not making it clear. Extreme means, was it very cold? Extreme means, was it very hot? Was it very dry? Was it very rainy, monsoon? We have a caller. Good evening. You have a question? We have a caller. Do we have a caller? Hello. Hi. Hi. Please ask your question. Call drop. Okay. Let's have the presentation back. So when I say it was of extreme nature, I am not very clear. Was it raining a lot or was it dry? Was it very cold or was it very warm? It's not very clear. And Western Ghat is a long and a big place, right? It's a long coastal line. It's a big place. So it's not very clear what exactly do I mean by that. So what should be the improved version? We have a caller. Yes, please go ahead. What is your question? Hello? Hi, what's your question? Yes, please go ahead. What is your question?
Am I speaking to Mr. Ron?
Yes, you are. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Suresh.
Mm-hmm.
I am calling from Karnool,
Okay.
Shankara's Degree College.
All right.
Okay, my question is, people usually say that speaking and talking. What is the main difference between speaking and talking? I would like to know the exact when to use these two words.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for the question. So the question is, when should I say talking? When should I say speaking? I will add another information on top of this. I can either say talking to or speaking to or speaking with. The pertinent question is, when do I use to, when do I use with? I will answer this first and then I will go to talking and speaking so that you can understand it better. When you say talking to or speaking to, it means it's a one way traffic or it's a monologue. That means you only want to tell something to that person, but you don't want to listen. For example, when kids break something, the mother says, let me talk to your dad right now, or let me talk to your supervisor. That means I want to complain. That means I just want to tell whatever is going wrong. It's a monologue, 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 talking to. When we say talking with or speaking with, it's a dialogue, which means it's a two-way conversation. So when do I use talking and when do I use speaking? It talks about the context of this sentence. Speaking is considered more appropriate. Speaking is considered when it's one-on-one, when you're speaking to a person. Okay, I think we have another caller. I'll hold on to this answer. Yes, this is Ron. May I have your question, please?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Sir, I have doubts. Why do authors use the words dusk, dawn instead of evening and morning in novels?
Can you repeat that for me, please?
Why do authors use the words dusk, dawn instead of evening and morning in novels?
Okay, all right.
And next question, another question I have doubt. Difference in the usage of see, look, view, keep, watch, observe.
Difference between see, view, look,
watch, observe.
Watch, observe, okay.
See, look, view, peep, watch, observe.
Okay, it's not looku, it's look. All right.
Look.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Surely I'll answer your question.
Okay, sir.
Okay, please hold on. I will answer the first question first. A caller from Kurnool, he was speaking about talking and speaking. Speaking is used when we are talking about the first person and the second person. For example, I want to speak to you, but I can also say I want to talk to you. Both are appropriate, but it depends on what context you are speaking with. Now, speak is also used when I am narrating it to a third person. That you know what, I spoke to a person from Kurnool who asked me a question. Now I am telling this to a third person, where I say I spoke to a person today who asked me a question about the difference between talking and speaking. But if I am doing one-on-one, if I am doing first person, second person, I say I want to talk to you. I can also say I want to speak with you, but usually we say I want to talk to you rather than I want to speak to you. Now, I need to think of various examples in terms of context. There is no specific rule. If the rule is there in terms of usage of talk and speak, that is specific to culture. For example, British English, what do you say? American English, what do you say? Or Australian English, what do you say? So, there is no rule to it. It's more in terms of culture. Okay. So, talk and speak, it depends on the context, it depends on whom you are speaking with. But the main point is both are accurate, both are correct. But when you speak about past tense, you can't say I talked, you say I spoke. So, don't use talk as a past tense, use speak as a past tense, not talk as a past tense. All right. Next question I got was, why do authors use dawn and dusk instead of evening and morning? The biggest reason is an evening is different from a dusk, a morning is different from a dawn. Dusk basically means the time period when the sun is going down, but evening basically means till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock is considered an evening. If you go to some places in Europe, the sun goes down, it's bright like a day till 8 in the night or 8 in the evening, if I may put it that way. But dawn and dusk are specific to those 15 minutes or half an hour period when the sky becomes orange and the sun is either going down or the sun is rising. The dawn is when the sun is coming out, but morning is 8 o'clock is also morning, 10 o'clock is morning, 11:59 is also a morning, only 12 o'clock is an afternoon. But you can't say 11 in the morning as dawn, because dawn is the sunrise time. So when authors in novels are writing dawn and dusk, they are referring to that specific time. Okay? So like birds are flying here and there chirping, they are flying into the nest or away from the nest, they fly away from the nest in dawn, they fly into the nest in dusk. So dusk is the sun setting time, dawn is sun rising time, that period when the sky is orange and all that. So it's an expression. The next question that you asked is the difference between see, view, look, watch, observe. I will go backward. Observe basically means something is going on where you are participating. For example, I am a doctor, there is a patient and the patient is under observation. If the breathing goes up beyond 120 beats per minute, I am supposed to put an injection or I need to administer an injection. If the patient is finding it difficult to breathe, I need to apply a face mask, which means in observation I am taking an action as well. Watch is usually used for something which is not physical in nature. For example, the incident is not real, it's not happening real time, or even if it's watching real time, you are not watching it in real scenario. For example, I am watching a live cricket match. Live cricket match is happening now, but you are not in the stadium, you are watching it on TV. So when you used view, view is something, you don't view a TV, we view a document. View is something where it's only for some time. Okay. For example, we say I just want to see fast forward this program for viewing purpose, or in technology we have view only document, which means you can't edit, you can't take any action. So in terms of your sentence context, you will use do you watch or do you view. When you say look, that is also a very short term behavior. Look outside the window. So I'm not standing there throughout the day, but it's not a view. View is from an object. Look is direct. We have a caller. Hello, please ask your question.
Hi, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please ask your question.
Sir, usually we use the sentence, shall I drink water, sir?
Yes.
Instead of that question, that we can use the sentence as, can I drink water?
My answer is no, you should not be using that, and I will give you the answer why. Please hold on for a moment. I will give you the answer why. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. So see, view, look, observe, watch, it depends what is the context. Like I am watching a match, I am in the stadium, it's like audience, spectator. Spectator is used for a sports event, audience is used for a cultural event or for a conference or for a presentation. Okay? So it depends on the context. I cannot put a rule for what kind of scenario you should use definitely watch or view. It varies from context to context. So as you keep working on your writing and reading skills, you will grow that. But I hope I succeeded in giving you a small little difference. Next question was, when shall I use can, When shall I use shall? Shall I go outside? No, you shall not. May I go outside? You may not. Can I go? Now, can is an ability. For example, I am using, so I have this glass of water. While I am talking to you, can I drink water? Yes, I can. I can just hold the glass, I can bring it closer, I can tilt or incline the glass and I can drink it. But am I allowed to do that? No, I am not. Can is an ability. May is seeking permission. When you say shall I, that means you are seeking permission. When you say can, it just means you can do it, but right now you are not allowed to do it. Can I go outside? Yes, you can. Open the door, go out. But can I go now? No, I cannot. So, can is an ability, shall is seeking permission. We have a caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I am Dilip Kumar, sir, calling from West Godavari district, Pesoteja College.
Yes, sir.
I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Interview is the teleconference.
Okay.
How to start the interview, sir?
Okay, if you have a telephonic interview, how to start?
How to start this interview?
Okay, sir, I will be conducting.
Sir.
Yes, go ahead. Okay, so the question was, in case if the interview is conducted on the telephone, how do I start? First and foremost, I will conduct 2 days of training only for interviews, where I will be speaking about your body language, I will be speaking about your dress code, I will be speaking about how to answer. So, telephonic interview will also be a part of that training, where extensively in detail I will tell you how to answer. But since he has asked, I want to give him some information. When you start your telephonic interview, the person will definitely know your name, otherwise they will not call. So, do not repeat the name, but if they do not know, then say the name. If it is a telephonic interview, you need to speak a little louder, but the rate of speech should be little lower, so that they can understand clearly. So, if you are the HR person, HR manager, and you are conducting a telephonic interview, so I will start with my name, then I will talk about my education background. So, even in a live interview I will do that, and telephonic interview also I will do it. But only difference is, in a telephonic interview my rate of speech will be little lower and my voice volume will be little louder. So, I will speak about myself, I will speak about my education background, I will speak about my strength, weakness, a little on my family background and my hobbies and interest. One very important point in terms of telephonic interview: whenever the question is asked, you should always thank the person. Alright, we have a caller. Hello, please ask your question.
Sir,
Yes.
when I am faced the interview in the group discussion session,
Yes.
in the group discussion session,
Yes,
They
ma'am,
will-
go ahead.
they will give some tasks, sir.
Okay.
How to explain the task, sir?
How to explain the topic?
Yes, sir.
Okay, alright. I will be conducting 1-day program on group discussion also. So, I will give you examples, I will give you practical illustrations, how to tackle group discussion, how to be successful in group discussion. But before that, I want to finish the earlier question on interviews of telephonic interview. So, when you have telephonic interview, the moment the person is done asking questions, always thank the person. For example, the caller says, so why do you want to work for A.P.S.S.D.C? So, thank you for your question. The reason I want to work for A.P.S.S.D.C is because it is one of the best companies to work in. Now, the question is, will you thank for every question? No, you will thank for the first question. And when the person is asking question, you will give a verbal nod. Okay, all right, yes, these are verbal nods that you will use in terms of telephonic interview, because if it's a live interview you will nod your head, that means you are understanding, but if you nod your head on the telephone they can't see you, right, they need to hear you. So you will use your voice or verbal acknowledgement, verbal nods to confirm that you are listening. So my question is, yes, go ahead. My question is, why do you want to work in Infosys? Okay, the reason I want to work in Infosys is, now you use the word okay, that means you received the question, you understood the question, now you will answer the question. All right. Now going to the next question, which was about group discussion. How do you start the topic? It's a little lengthy and detailed answer. Till we get the next caller, I will talk about it. Imagine the topic for group discussion is, as a country, do we have the capability of being the best innovator in the world? Innovator means being very creative. So I will start the topic, or I will start the group discussion. First I need to greet everyone in my group. Hello everyone, good evening. Today we are discussing a very good topic, that is, as a country, do we qualify to be the best innovator in the world? In my opinion, India has all the capabilities of being the best innovator, but more than the opportunity or more than the capability, we have challenges. If I give you an example, a country which is a fraction of a size of India, South Korea, is the best innovator in the world. We, with such a huge population and big geography, we do not stand even in top 50 innovators. Why is it so? So what did you do here? You explain what the topic is. With explanation of the topic, you are giving your point of view as well. So to answer your question, how should I introduce the topic? First, greet everyone in the group, thank everyone, and then paraphrase the topic. Don't repeat word by word what the topic is, just paraphrase it. Say for example, the topic is, does India have the capability of the best innovator? So don't repeat it. So today we are discussing on our capability being the best innovator. You change the words a little bit, but you are still talking about the same, because in group discussion they are checking your ability to comprehend and your ability to respond, being a good team member in the group, as well as portraying leadership qualities that you can score more points compared to rest of the group members. All right. So I hope I answered the question, and I hope all of you are getting my answer. There seems to be a delay between the question and when the answer is coming on the screen, which is fine. So as long as the question is answered, so that's why when I'm answering a question, I'm repeating the question so that you know for which question I'm giving the answer. All right. If we have more callers, we'll take that in, not a problem. And we have a caller. Okay, please go ahead. What's your question?
Sir, sorry sir, 1 minute sir. Sir, I don't know English sir, but I speak only Telugu.
You just spoke in English.
Sir, I don't know spoken English sir.
It's okay, please try. What's your name?
My name is Vinay Kumar Reddy sir.
Vinay, you can speak very well. Have the confidence in you, have the faith in you. If you say you don't know English and you're saying that in English, that means you are wrong. You know English and you can speak very well. Let me tell you, your pronunciation is good.
Sorry sir, a small word is...
it's okay. Why you saying sorry? Be confident. Number one thing that you need is believe in yourself. You are good.
Yes, sir.
So even if you are making mistake, nothing will go wrong. Which city you are calling from?
Sir, I calling from Mulkazir, which is Blossom Degree College, sir.
Okay. Which city is it?
Chittoor district.
Chittoor. Okay. So do you think I will come to Chittoor and I will beat you up or something? No, right? So don't think you can't speak well. You can speak very well. Please ask your question.
Yes, sir. In this some minutes back, you called. Sorry, sir. Sir,
Okay.
Telugu. I asked in Telugu, sir.
No problem, no problem. Please go ahead. Ask in Telugu. I will get it translated.
సార్ నేను ఇంతకు ముందు ఒకసారి విన్నాను సార్, ఇంజెక్షన్ అనేది కోర్ట్ ఆర్డర్ని ఇంజెక్షన్ అంటారు సార్. మీరు ఇంతవరకు చెప్పినారు సార్, అది వచ్చి ఇంజెక్షన్ అన్నారు. ఆ ఇంజెక్షన్కి ఈ ఇంజెక్షన్ చాలా డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంది కదా సార్.
Okay, somebody needs to translate that for me. Okay, so the word injection can be used in terms of a court order as well as the doctor giving injection. Is that what you meant? Are you still there, Vinay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vinay, if I understood your question, you said there is a word injection which the doctor gives. There is also a word injection which the court gives. Is that what your question is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If my understanding of the court order is correct, it's not injection, I think it's injunction. Am I right?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is injunction. It's not injection. Both are two different words. But you brought out a very good point. I could have a word which can have multiple meaning, same spelling also. For example, date, D-A-T-E. Today's date is 7th or 6th, today is 6th.
Yes, sir.
But date also means a fruit, a dry fruit is also called a date. Both has no connection, same spelling, different meaning. For example, bat, I can have a cricket bat and I can also have the flying mammal. What do you call bat in Telugu? It hangs upside down from the trees. I don't know what you call that in Telugu. The black color in the trees, you see it in the nights. So the same word can be used in two different ways depending on the context. Okay? So injunction is court order, injection is what the doctor gives you. Okay, we have a caller.
Sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you, sir?
I am doing very well. Please ask your question.
Sir, can I have a tips how to pronounce a word, sir?
Please go ahead. What is the word?
No, sir. Can you please give some tips, sir?
You want tips how to be good in pronunciation?
Yes, sir. Yes, that's my question, sir.
Okay, all right. What's your name?
Sir, my name is Aslam.
Aslam Mia. Where are you calling from?
Sir, from National Degree College, sir.
National Degree College, Kurnool?
No, sir, Nandyal.
Oh, Nandyal. Yeah. How's Srinivas sir doing? He's doing well?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's doing well, sir.
Okay, National Degree College, one of my favorite, and Nandyal is a beautiful place, amazing place. I really liked it. Okay, pronunciation tips.
Yes, sir.
Tip number 1, read. Tip number 2, practice. Now this is a very broad tip. What you should do is read a paragraph. From the paragraph, every word read it loud. For example, if I have to read a paragraph, I have something on my screen. Let me go back to something where I will have something on my screen. I am showing something on my screen right now. Can we have the screen presentation on the screen? Yes. So I have this paragraph. Mr. Aslam is asking a question. How do I improve on pronunciation? First and foremost, read a paragraph and read it loud. Not to yourself, but so that others can hear around you. Read it slow, read it loud. There are 3 reasons why Canada is one of the best countries in the world. First, Canada has an excellent healthcare system. Now what did I do? I read 3 lines. After the word first, there is a comma, so I paused. First, Canada has an excellent healthcare system. So I am reading loud. I should read a little slow. I need to pronounce. Now, if I have a word which I don't know how to pronounce, say for example, now let's concentrate on the board. Say for example, in this particular paragraph, just a moment, say in this paragraph I have a word which is P-A-R-A-D-I-G-M. I don't know how to pronounce it. If I don't know, I will say paradigm, right? There is a paradigm shift between the culture of Canada and culture of France. I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to learn pronunciation and proper pronunciation. I can do it manual way, I can do it automated way. What is the manual way? First and foremost, I need to understand the meaning of the word as well. I will pick up the dictionary, I will go to the page where P-A-R-A, this word can be found. Right next to the word, the pronunciation will also be mentioned and the meaning will be mentioned. But the problem with a book dictionary is, I need to know phonetics in order to understand how it should be pronounced. That is why an automated way is better. I will type the word in google.com. I can either go to Oxford Dictionary or Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary is what I suggest. When you type this word, you will get a small speaker icon. It will look like somewhat like this. Okay, it will look like this right next to the word. Please click with the mouse, keep the volume up. You will have a voice which will prompt what is the pronunciation of this word. Now that you know the pronunciation, read the paragraph again. Now that is not enough. So you need to read, you need to listen, and you need to speak. People are ready to listen, people are ready to read, but they don't want to speak. So in order to improve pronunciation, you have learnt how to use or how to pronounce paradigm. So the pronunciation is paradigm. G is silent, D-I-M is pronounced as if D-I-M-E, dime, paradigm. So you learnt how to pronounce this word, but unless you speak, how will you know you are pronouncing it correctly? So the best way of learning pronunciation is reading loud. If you are confused with the pronunciation, go to google.com, check the pronunciation, understand it, and then start using it. Clear? I hope I made it as clear as possible. Okay. So tomorrow, so I hope I pretty much answered a lot of questions today. So if you still have questions, you are free to call even now. But tomorrow what we will do is, tomorrow we will take questions at a set period of time, because today there were so many questions one after another, it was difficult for me to keep a tab. So tomorrow will have questions for a set period of time. For example, either the beginning of the day or end of the day. So end of the day is something which works. So from 4 to 4:45 will be dedicated for question and answer. The lines will be opened from 4 to 4:45, where you can call and get your questions answered. From 2 to 4 we will have more of practice session, more of learning practices. Clear? But the line is still open now for another 5 minutes, if I am right, 5 to 10 minutes. So please do call and ask your questions if you still have. What we are going to do tomorrow is, we will start with the writing skill. Today we spent a lot of time on question answer, which is good. I love answering questions, which is good. So please don't hesitate asking questions. So tomorrow we will speak about writing skills. I will not be able to check if you are understanding. So I will tell you the rules of writing. I will tell you the tips of writing, or say, or a good 4 to 5 to write an essay, or probably first write a paragraph, then write an essay. Essay is longer, 2-3 paragraph makes one essay. So we will do a little paragraph writing, we will do essay writing. How will I know you are doing it right or wrong? I'm sorry, I cannot check your answers. So once I give the topic, I will show you the topic on the screen. Write your paragraph, write your essay, then show it to your faculty members. If you have English department, most of the colleges do have, show it to them, ask them to correct it. Try to gather how many spelling mistakes you did, how many grammatical mistakes you did, how many punctuation mistakes you did, and try to write on a notepad. You can either physically write, if you have a computer, write on a notepad, don't write on Word document. If you write on Word document, the system will show you the spelling mistakes and grammatical mistakes. That way you will not learn, you will just right click and correct it, you will not know what is the correct one. Clear? So another 5 minutes we will take calls. If you have any questions, feel free to call me, I will give you the answers, and tomorrow we will speak on writing skills. If I may go back, okay, so we will speak about writing skills, where I will talk about the tips and rules. Then I will also tell you the paragraph writing tips in terms of the structure, how should you begin and how should you end. I will give you examples how a perfect closure of an essay should look like, because companies like Capgemini, Mphasis will have essay writing. There is one company which will give you picture based essay. So I will try to give you some sample pictures on which you need to write an essay or write a paragraph. Okay, and I will tell you how to improve your grammar and spelling, and also how to avoid punctuation mistakes or spelling mistakes wherever you are writing or whenever you are writing. Okay, so I think that's it for today. We had close to 20 calls, if I am right, quite a few calls, and we will open up the call lines tomorrow at 4 p.m. From 4 p.m. I will take the questions. Before that I will speak extensively on your writing skills. If we finish our portion before 4 o'clock, we will open the lines and we will answer your questions. Clear? So we are done for today. Tomorrow we will see you at 2 o'clock. 9:30 you have your aptitude training, 1 o'clock you have your technical training, and 2 o'clock you have my training. So I hope you enjoyed, you liked, and it's going to help you. If you have further questions, please comment on the YouTube window itself. The comment field will be enabled after a while. You can post your question and I will answer those questions. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone.